obviously interface the word starting with, if suppose I want to try to add the class, right? I'm doing just generally what is the name of the class, and we can do it. But if suppose interface obviously start with I is the starting point of the I indicates that it is a interface like, so we can do like person, same like a .cs as an extension. Interface has been created as like this, and do this. If I can add that interface, right, I person, you, and inside the um, code like this way, because we are added as a interface, I starting letter as a I, interface as a person, interface person. Automatically the previously we saw, right, in the person class, obviously automatically .NET framework work understand that, and it is showing that public class person. But if you make that as a person, if you want to create a interface, you automatically what that .NET framework understand, right, it is starting with I person. So automatically .NET understand that it gives the internal interface I person. This is the way .NET framework works. And also interface keyword, with the interface keyword we can create the one file name. So obviously I want to make it as a default, it is internal, we can change it as a public interface, public way. Okay, this is the way interface has been defined. Just I would like to add something like the definition for a understanding purpose. Just interface, obviously we can like a abstract contract, uh, it just defining as the methods and properties and events. What are the class you want to implement depends upon this interface. The way we have to define a blueprint of a class without providing the implementation detail. You mean, if suppose if you want to make one class with the person class, but whatever the person class can implement, that person class implementation definitions all the methods and all the blueprint, like blueprint in the sense, if suppose you want to make a one building, okay, in the make a, before that you want to create one diagram, like okay, this I mean what are the blocks should be there, like four pillars, 10 pillars, like one block later, one kind of blueprint you are prepared, right? The same way interface concept also similar. If you make one class like a person class, but if before this going to create this person class, one blueprint we are going to create, that is the interface. Okay, for this I just want to make sure one kind of in definition point of view for understanding everyone. Mhm. Okay, and a set of methods, properties, and events that a class must implement is always to define a blueprint of a class without providing the implementation. So just for make sure the what actually the concept is doing, right? That's why I'm giving this. Okay, let's suppose once, okay, we are doing like this interfaces, like the way we can keyword is there, and we will declare some whatever the method names, and what actually the method name would be there here. But here also we have two different set of interfaces we can define. When we are utilizing in these interfaces into the class level, we have two types of interfaces. One is explicit and another is implicit. interfaces. So, and explicit implicit interfaces are differently according to that the usage pattern is different, but the use what are the use case of interfaces is similar. So I would like to write what is the like one kind of method to utilize this method into my own document class or something classes. I can use this. Suppose I am just want to make sure one y print name method. Okay. So I just define a one method. Here, if I am trying to make full name like this, I'm trying to make any implementation, right? Here I'm trying to make some implementation return type like this. It is showing this small kind of implementation. So if I make something, okay, 0 like this. These minimal implementations allowed, but if you want to make sure if you do some kind of methods inside that, if you want to access that methods, it can't be possible in the interface level because I am just making this string, right? That's why it is asking that. But the criteria is different for us. Right now I'm just explaining the explicit. So right now I'm just creating one method name in the interface. This interface method I want to utilize into the my class. What is the class I have created, right? That class I want to utilize. So for this reason I would like to create one more class as a like document or something I can create. I can utilize this interface. How would I document class? Okay, the document class has been created here. So in this document class I want to utilize that interface. So for that interface I want to utilize before going to do. Yesterday I had explained what is inheritance, the concept. I have created one class as animal, and inside that I am using that inheritance concept and doing this animal belongs to this kind of category dog and cat like this. This is the way inheritance we have achieved. So same way the interface concept also, if you create one interface in your project, if you want to use this interface, obviously you can use the inheritance concept, like you need to extend that interface into your class. So that is the reason I'm just using that interface here like I person. Okay, so let's see if I am trying to use this one, I'm getting that build error. Document does not implement the interface member I person dot print name. Let's see why this is getting right. Once if you inherit this interface, obviously interface expects your method implementation because this method is being created in the I person interface. Obviously if you want to utilize this interface wherever the which class you want to utilize, it should implement. Otherwise obviously it is showing that the error build error. So for that one I'm just clicking on show potential fixes. Just see what will be the implementation will give by the .NET framework. It's explicitly it is giving the .NET framework public void print name method already I have defined in the 5% interface. Okay, the same I print name method will be implemented in the this class. So here I want to make whatever the name strings, I just can make it and do the naming senses. Whatever the implementation I can do it in the person document class itself. So I make that class and do the implementation, full kind of implementation in the I person interface. I make this print name, right? Here I am just want to document name and whatever that Just I make this all and do the implementation in this. Even same like that, if you make any other, suppose I just save this one and my interface, I want to make sure one more method, just like integer age of the person, like this. Let's see what is the output. So in my interface, I just added one more method as of the person. So let's see my document class is working or not. It shouldn't be work because we have one more method in the interface. It expects the implementation in the document class itself. That's the reason we are doing one more implementation. So let's see how we can it works. Public integer, right? The return type is integer. Is of the person is the method name and do the some return type as 20 or like integer. Then only you can see, right, here interface is satisfied with that implementation, then the build will be the .NET framework will be going to, okay, you are making the valuable result, then you can build the system with you can utilize this class wherever you want. Like this way we can implement our interfaces, the concept what we are here we are discussing, right here, already defined that what is the set of methods and properties you want to mention the class. Actually, what is the biggest advantage for these interfaces is right now when we are doing some practice at some kind of small project, there is no big impact because why we are actually the class is there. Why interface is required? Without this interface also we can implement the class, right? We already done that. Person class we have a name, age, display info, full name, everything is available. Why this interface is important? Is not required actually as a point of a student, there is no sense with that, but coming to in the project level, if you are trying to make number of projects like in your project number of modules are there, okay, in this number of modules in our blueprint, like in the like the building block of the pillar, like then nobody want to touch that, like that. So in the interface concept that they make a one kind of contract. Oh, you, whoever the developer can doing these classes, these methods should only develop or implement. Don't touch these methods. If you want another method, you just add into the interface level. Don't add it your explicitly another new methods and new things into our class itself. That is the make of contract. Using these interfaces we can define a set of methods, set of properties or events, whatever the things we want to define, and it obviously is a blueprint of a class. Okay, so providing just kind of implementation details, not giving you the complete implementation in the interface level. So we have two types of access in these interfaces. Right now, whatever the kind of access is there, right? I just make the if I'm trying to use this document class and using this I person as interface. So directly I just inject. I mean using the inheritance concept and extended this variable and doing the interface and implementation here. Suppose if you make this explicit, right? Explicit interface is a different type of way we can execute it. So for the this one is implicit. For the exam, just the naming conventions are different, but most of the sense we are using implicit only in the project level. Explicit is the rare cases. Okay, just I would like to give the explicit way of consuming the interface as well. Here I can make one more class as like center, right, center. Okay, in this class I would like to try to consume the I interface like I printable class. Okay, so I would like to make as a public class, trying to make the same class whatever we already defined I person. Let's see how I'm trying to implement this explicit way. Okay, so here already have that I printable I person dot. We have two methods. One is print name and age of the person. I'm trying to use the print name method and do the implementation here. So implementation. Okay. And one more class also there. I'm trying to use that same class like integer I person dot age of the person. Okay. Return one. So this way we can define our interface and implementations will be. This kind of usage is called like explicit interface. Okay, actually why this explicit and implicit, where exactly using, right? A few cases scenario. Explicit is when you want to implement a class explicitly, when you are trying to interface followed the methods. If you want to use the class iprintable explicitly when trying to print the method only, that case of scenarios right now the example is quite similar. But if the cases are, if suppose you want to use the presenter as a case, you want to use this explicit interface according to your situation. In the when the event is called, then only you want to make this condition using directly. You can access from the interface level directly. We are accessing, right, in the line number 12 I person dot print name, we are directly accessing from the interface. But in coming to the explicit and implicit way, we are interface is there within the extended property, but the name of the methods are directly we are declaring here without the I mean using the interface name. That is the making one kind of difference in the whatever the example wise. I mean the project where we both are similar, but the making a syntactically some difference. But according to the situation, you want to use this I person, I mean interface, the method based things, we can use these examples. That's the both differences. But actually we are as a project level, most of the sense we are using implicit interfaces. This way we can implement all our methods into the class level. Okay, I already told you yesterday the OOPS concept, whatever we trying to make some OOPS concept, uh, polymorphism, abstraction, multiple inheritance, dependency injections. These are the concepts, all are depending on these interfaces. Most of the interface using these following scenarios like polymorphism, how you can utilize this interface concept, and even abstraction. Abstraction point of view also we can use this interface concept. If you want to hide the implementation details, just only giving the consumer part of things, then these cases we obviously using the interface concept. And also for multiple inheritance, actually multiple inheritance, if yesterday I discussed something about the one kind of class I have created and inherit into the dog class and cat class. We are trying to make use this animal. If I am creating one more class here, actually C sharp shouldn't be applied for the multiple inheritance. Animal 2 class has been created. If I am trying to use this animal 2 class in the same dog class as a multiple inheritance concept, it shouldn't be applied. It will obviously throws that dog cannot have a multiple base classes. It means multiple inheritance. It should we can't able to achieve through C sharp. But actually Java will support that, but C sharp framework shouldn't be supporting the multiple inheritance. So find this kind of concepts we can use these interfaces, because in the interface level, if you can see these interfaces, right? I will create one more interface. I can use that same interface in the two level, like if I trying to make I person, I printer, like this way we can. utilize the interfaces. Multiple inheritance concept we can achieve through interfaces way. Okay, let's for example, I just want to take one more interface. Let's see how it will works. I printer public dashboard name is the method. Okay, if I want to use this I printer in my document class like this way, it is also expecting the implementation of the dashboard. So that's the way we can implement the dashboard. So the main thing you will get it right here in that empty. Okay, actually multiple inheritance we can't able to achieve through the inheritance concept. This way we can achieve through interface will give us that kind of mechanism to achieve the multiple inheritance, because the dependency of the document having the two kind of dependencies. I need to depend on the iPerson interface as well, iPrinter or interface. If it is a class is there, we can utilize, but we don't have an option to the class multiple inheritance class thing. So interfaces will help to this kind of pattern. Yes, coming to interview point of view, the interviewer will question, right? What is the use cases of interfaces like that? How many types of interfaces, and where exactly use these interfaces? What is the advantage of interfaces? You need to present this kind of examples. We can achieve multiple inheritance, and we can define a contract or a method for that, building providing a like a blueprint. The implementation details only we can put into the interface level. The obviously the keyword is interface. We the name which we create a any interface name is with the interface keyword. Without this we can't create any interface. Okay, any doubts on this part?